we played some word definition games, if you remember. How many people remember that? Right, okay. Well, this year I'm a senior, so we're going to be serious. And I'll be honest, though, as a side note, I'm in this communication, speech-giving class, and next week we have to give a speech of definition. So coincidentally tonight, we're going to talk about what it means to be a Brown men's soccer player. So like I said, last year we did some definitions, and actually I defined what being a Brown men's soccer player was about. So I'm going to read it to you. A Brown men's soccer player is a student athlete who participates on the Brown men's soccer team. He can run 3 miles in 18 minutes, is not afraid to get through his tackles, loves getting touches, and can run 7.5 miles after doing countless dumbbell squats, lunges, and glute ham raises. It's a player who can put together a skit, can cut some hair with the best of them, and typically becomes addicted to a television series during preseason. So I feel this definition I gave last year, it tells what we do, but not really what it's all about. So I'm here today to, I guess, shed some light on that. It's about love. I told you this is going to be serious. It's about loving the guy next to you as much as SKS likes his auntie's cakers. Good cakers. It's about loving the guy next to you more than you love yourself, or in Mark's case, his health. Why else would anyone be crazy enough to run a 3 mile? It's about loving the guy next to you so much you're willing to spend 220 consecutive hours with him in Spain, looking at what Gaby calls El Arte, and listening to Ween Dog sing Game of Thrones in Spanish in the back of the bus. I think most importantly, though, being a Brown men's soccer player is about loving being on one big roller coaster ride. So 2 years ago, Sean McGrath was a senior, a career backup actually to the infamous David Walls. And he talked about why he loved being a Brown men's soccer player, even though he wasn't seeing much time on the field. He said he loved being on the Brown men's soccer team because of the highs and lows, hence the roller coaster. After heartbreaking losses, injuries, or watching a teammate fail his 3 mile in preseason, after running Blackstone on crack at 6 in the morning with 0 ounces of food in your belly, you come to these devastating lows. You wonder what your role in the team is going to be. Are we going to make the tournament? Are we ever actually going to win again? But then there are these highs, like beating Boston University in the opening seconds of overtime, like the one mentioned tonight, 4-3 win in Washington in front of a big crowd, beating whatever number Cornell was at the time, and getting to go out with your buddies after the game. And it's these highs that really make what being a Brown men's soccer player is all about, and makes it worth it. It's worth the tears and the sleepless nights, and all the effort you put in. And what I found is everyone likes roller coaster rides for different reasons. Some people like the loop-de-loops, other people like the big drops, the twists and turns, but my favorite part's the end. It's when you just come down that big drop and you're going like 120 miles an hour and there's 30 yards ahead of you before the loading station, and there's no way you're going to stop. But you always do. And it's always kind of right at that last second when you least expect it. You come to this blinding halt, and it always takes me a second to kind of gather my thoughts and figure out what I feel. So I'm shocked at first and a little scared, stunned that the ride's finally over. I'm sad because I wanted the ride just to keep going and just go for another, fill it up again, as we like to say. And I'm happy because when I think back about the roller coaster ride and realized all the ups and downs, just how worth it was, how much fun I had. And Bandits, what an incredible ride it's been. These last 4 years, you guys seriously aren't even my friends anymore. We're brothers. And our roller coaster ride came to that blinding stop in Maryland. At first I was shocked. With less than a minute to play, we realized we played our last game together. I was happy. All the stupid times out the field, but all the great memories on the field. Just could not have asked for anything more. But I think most of all, I'm sad because it had to come to an end. And I'll be honest, I'm a little scared of what comes next. Not because of being done with soccer. That's what all my meetings are for. Yeah, so I go to a lot of meetings, I guess. But in all honesty, I'm scared not to have you guys there with me. To laugh with, and to compete with, and to cry with. So, making the loop, this persuasive communication class, we give speeches and stuff at the beginning, obviously, so I haven't figured it quite out yet. But, I love you guys, so I think that's what being a Brown men's soccer player means to me.